Yeah, how's it going? Today is 11th of November, Monday, and today we're gonna be take a look at perhaps Lithuania and what's happening in Lithuania. There's a lot of information. Perhaps we can support some of those developments by taking a look at some of those articles. I'll try to capture everything what's happening in Lithuania in the best possible way, but we might have to skip some information, very important information. And let's try to stick with the format where there's going to be only perhaps 10-minute videos. And we're going to be taking a look at defense and security in today's video of Lithuania. There might be a lot of developments as well as financial opportunities. We're going to be touching on those and how profitable some of those companies might be. And from there, we will take a look at potentially where everything have started. That would be there was Munich speech in 2007, so I believe that was the first time that I can remember where these kind of things begin discussion. So many years ago, right? Uh, many years ago, 2007. So that would be when everything have started. A lot of things have been put in motion, right? So that would be a famous speech. People can listen to it, half an hour, and it was given by a Russian president, right? We have finished week 167. Overall, was great week, I would say. And sales and marketing is what I'm at this moment. It's the only thing that I'm focusing a lot on. As well as we progress into week 168, and that would be marketing every second day of the week. And we're gonna be closing week by taking a look at government contracts. Then from there we can progress to Germany, right? Then it comes to traffic light collision. That would be potential colors red, yellow, and green. It just happens to be that the same colors are flag of Lithuania. Coincidence. But anyway, so the way how government was formed, all these kind of things people can find by taking a look at Wikipedia, right? Traffic lights, kind of interesting idea. From there, let's progress and let's take a look at some of the developments when it comes to military bases, right? Lithuania is part of EU and part of single market and everything what's happening in European Union. The way how votes will be allocated and the way how person will be allocated, right, to oversee defense and security, and that would be potentially elected person to oversee this area. That would be Andris Kubilius, who happens to be from Lithuania, right? I have done some research to understand that this individual is politic and he doesn't have finances, he doesn't have military. Uh, he's up there, right? And perhaps he needs to convince and source a lot of finances, all these kind of things, right? I'm just trying to understand what he's trying to convince and where he's trying to source his finances. Since then, reaching out to this individual, he's not responding other than he perhaps looking to source additional investments and all these kind of things, right? So I have very mixed emotions when it comes to this particular individual. But he's been advised by CEO of one of the German leading companies when it comes to arms manufacturers, right? So he, from my personal understanding, he's just up there. He's not actually doing anything other than he's been advised of how to do it by some of the arms manufacturers, right? We can progress to this company who happens to me be making record sales, right? So that would be German. Let's keep this company's name. One of the main gainers from both European defense spending, sparking the Ukraine's war. So the arms industry is currently making so much money, and as well as Parliament in Germany is looking to structure and perhaps then giving a lot of contracts to this company. Perhaps they're looking to take some percentage ownership of this company. I don't know if they have done it already, but perhaps they're considering doing that. Just because how many we're talking about billions and billions, right? It's U.S. Prospects. We were unchanged in election results. European defense stocks rose to Wednesday after okay. U.S. president elected, which analyzes could prompt high spending on weapons in Europe, right? So when it comes to manufacturing and advices, that would be just one of the CEOs who's potentially advising politics, right? When it comes to how to source equipment, where to build that equipment, all these kind of details, right? Just to start things out, perhaps we can take a look at when it comes to military bases and how those military bases are being built and where those bases would be located, right? I don't know what kind of information I might have access to. Numbers can be off. It's just because some of the information not necessarily would be available for public. Since I believe when it comes to military bases, I believe that currently in Germany there's way more bases, right? But anyway, Germany hosts a significant number of military bases, primarily from United States, due to the country's strategic location in European. Okay. We don't need to explain why, but what do we need to explain? Or bring more attention to how many. So US has it says 30. I believe it's way more. I would say about 100 or more military bases in Germany. So this is how many US has military bases in Germany. And in return, perhaps part of how some of those contracts can be negotiated, how many military bases Germany would have in the United States if they would be able to match number of those bases. So if on the record it says 30, how many as of now bases Germany has in the United States? Germany does not have any permanent military bases in the United States. So perhaps we can start with that because it might be of importance to have those bases in the United States. Okay, just to put things clear, right? So if countries are interested in securing other countries, perhaps they could share number of military bases and all personnel. So if it's 5,000, in this case, within those 30 military bases, how many US would have troops? Germany might be interested in building that many bases in the United States. And that would be a very friendly relationship and cooperation, right? From there, we can progress to 3 different articles. So that would be what is needed for this particular businesses. That would be we're focusing on one. There might be more than one, and then it comes to license agreements, and suppliers or suppliers, all these kind of things. There might be more complexity, right? Since we were taking a look at some of the developments happening in UK, there might be new units being opened or headquarters in Germany itself, and perhaps when it comes to what we are taking a look at, perhaps that would be just as assembly points. I don't know how much of actual manufacturing would take place in places like Lithuania, since entire supply chain, all these kind of things can be very complex, right? As well as when it comes to manufacturing, intellectual properties, and who can manufacture what kind of equipment they can use. Entire subject is very complex. It's very hard to cover in necessary detail, as well as bringing attention to important parts, right? When it comes to military personnel as being located in different countries, right? So that would be, as Lithuania is in talks with Germany, industry giant, let's keep name, or the artillery ammunition plant, experts say that the state will also have contribute financially, right? Okay. So potentially, someone is paying for it. And now it makes a little bit more sense when it comes to electing one of these politics and who doesn't really hold anything and can respond to emails, right? To organize everything what's happening in Lithuania, right? Something that I have started some time ago, so that would be potentially in April. So there might be different developments, all these kind of things. But anyway, that really work begins on Germans' 5,000 strong military base in Lithuania. So rough numbers are 1 to 6. So if it's 5,000 to match then invading Lithuania, right? To match this amount of soldiers, since we're taking a look at security, right? So that would need to be invaded 1 to 6. So it's roughly about 30,000 would need to attack for 5,000 to defend 1 to 6 ratio, right? So just increasing number of how many personnel would need to invade, in this case Lithuania, in order to defend Lithuania, right? Let's progress and let's touch on the last article. That would be Lithuania is looking after not only personal, but families, right? That Lithuania promises competitive employment opportunities for German soldier families. Lithuania can offer competitive labor market conditions for families in incoming German troops in the fields of information technology, or IT, or engineering, and or directors of Lithuania's employment service says. So IT services or remote services potentially, as well as there are a lot of industries, no, but we will see. We will see. I guess we can follow those developments and see and or check those people's how and their performance, right? Anyway, if we are trying to engage with anyone, if we trying to engage with this company, we're trying to engage with this company, we're trying to engage with these politics, and no one's responding for comment, so they just have their own plans in mind that potentially was put in motion many years ago, and they're just executing those plans as of now, and they're not interested in engaging in talks, right? Which I believe. So that means they're working on special interests and they benefit them for their own interests, right? Let's close on that. Thanks for watching. See you next one.